always repeating his eloquent pleadings to his children. And who do you think was his last client? An old woman who had been robbed of 500 roubles, her all, by some rogue of a usurer, besought him to take up her case. Instead of which he defended the usurer himself, a Jew named Zeidler, because this Jew promised to give him 50 roubles. It was to be 50 if I won the case, only 5 if I lost," interrupted Lebedeff, speaking in a low tone, a great contrast to his earlier manner. "Well, naturally he came to grief. The law is not administered as it used to be, and he only got laughed at for his pains. But he was much pleased with himself in spite of that. 'Most learned judge,' said he, 'picture this unhappy man, crippled by age and infirmities, who gains his living by honourable toil. Picture him, I repeat, robbed of his all, of his last mouthful. Remember, I entreat you, the words of that learned legislator: "Let mercy and justice alike rule the courts of law." Now, would you believe it, Excellency, every morning he recites this speech to us from beginning to end, exactly as he spoke it before the magistrate. Today we have heard it for the 5th time. He was just starting again when you arrived, so much does he admire it. He is now preparing to undertake another case. I think, by the way, that you are Prince Muishkin. Colia tells me you are the cleverest man he has ever known." "The cleverest in the world," interrupted his uncle hastily. "I do not pay much attention to that opinion," continued the young man calmly. "Colia is very fond of you, but he," pointing to Lebedeff, "is flattering you. I can assure you I have no intention of flattering you or anyone else, but at least you have some common sense. Well, will you judge between us? Shall we ask the prince to act as arbitrator?" he went on, addressing his uncle. "I am so glad you chanced to come here, prince." "I agree," said Lebedeff firmly, looking round involuntarily at his daughter, who had come nearer, and was listening attentively to the conversation. "What is it all about?" asked the prince, frowning. His head ached, and he felt sure that Lebedeff was trying to cheat him in some way, and only trying to put off the explanation that he had come for. "I will tell you all the story. I am his nephew. He did speak the truth there, although he is generally telling lies. I am at the university, and have not yet finished my course. I mean to do so, and I shall, for I have a determined character. I must, however, find something to do for the present, and therefore I have got employment on the railway at 24 roubles a month. I admit that my uncle has helped me once or twice before. Well, I had 20 roubles in my pocket, and I gambled them away. Can you believe that I should be so low, so base as to lose money in that way?" "And the man who won it is a rogue whom you ought not to have paid," cried Lebedeff. "Yes, he is a rogue, but I was obliged to pay him," said the young man. "As to his being a rogue, he is assuredly that, and I am not saying it because he beat you. He is an ex-lieutenant, prince, dismissed from the service, a teacher of boxing, and one of Rogojin's followers. They are all lounging about the pavements now that Rogojin has turned them off. Of course, the worst of it is that, knowing he was a rascal and a card sharper, I none the less played balki with him and risked my last rouble. To tell the truth, I thought to myself, if I lose I will go to my uncle, and I'm sure he will not refuse to help me. Now that was base, cowardly and base." "That is so," observed Lebedeff quietly. "Cowardly and base." "Well, wait a bit before you begin to triumph," said the nephew viciously, for the words seemed to irritate him. "He is delighted. I came to him here and told him everything. I acted honourably, for I did not excuse myself. I spoke most severely of my conduct, as everyone here can witness. But I must smarten myself up before I take up my new post, for I am really like a tramp. Just look at my boots. I cannot possibly appear like this, and if I am not at the bureau at the time appointed, the job will be given to someone else, and I shall have to try for another. No, I only beg for 15 roubles, and I give my word that I will never ask him for anything again. I am also ready to promise to repay my debt in 3 months' time, and I will keep my word, even if I have to live on bread and water. My salary will amount to 75 roubles in 3 months. The sum I now ask, added to what I've borrowed already, will make a total of about 35 roubles. So you see I shall have enough to pay him, and confound him, if he wants interest, he shall have that too. Haven't I always paid back the money he lent me before? Why should he be so mean now? He grudges my having paid that lieutenant. There can be no other reason. That's the kind he is, a dog in the manger." "And he won't go away!" cried Lebedeff. "He has installed himself here, and here he remains." "I have told you already that I will not go away until I have got what I ask. Why are you smiling, prince? You look as if you disapproved of me." "I am not smiling, but I really think you are in the wrong, somewhat," replied Muishkin reluctantly. "Don't shuffle. Say plainly that you think I am quite wrong, without any 'somewhat.' Why somewhat?" "I will say you are quite wrong, if you wish." "If I wish, that's good, I must say. Do you think I am deceived as to the flagrant impropriety of my conduct? I am quite aware that his money is his own, and that my action is much like an attempt at extortion. But you don't know what life is. If people don't learn by experience, they never understand. They must be taught. My intentions are perfectly honest. On my conscience, he will lose nothing, and I will pay back the money with interest. Added to which he has had the moral satisfaction of seeing me disgraced. What does he want more? And what is he good for if he never helps anyone? Look what he does himself. Just ask him about his dealings with others, how he deceives people. How did he manage to buy this house? You may cut off my head if he has not let you in for something, and if he is not trying to cheat you again. You are smiling. You don't believe me." "It seems to me that all this has nothing to do with your affairs," remarked the prince. "I have lain here now for 3 days," cried the young man without noticing, "and I have seen a lot. Fancy, he suspects his daughter, that angel, that orphan, my cousin. He suspects her, and every evening he searches her room to see if she has a lover hidden in it. He comes here too, on tiptoe, creeping softly, oh, so softly, and looks under the sofa, my bed, you know. He is mad with suspicion, and sees a thief in every corner. He runs about all night long. He was up at least 7 times last night to satisfy himself that the windows and doors were barred, and to peep into the oven. That man who appears in court for scoundrels rushes in here in the night and prays, lying prostrate, banging his head on the ground by the half hour. And for whom do you think he prays? Who are the sinners figuring in his drunken petitions? I have heard him with my own ears praying for the repose of the soul of the Countess du Barry. Colia heard it too. He is as mad as a March hare." "You hear how he slanders me, prince," said Lebedeff, almost beside himself with rage. "I may be a drunkard, an evildoer, a thief, but at least I can say one thing for myself. He does not know, how should he, mocker that he is, that when he came into the world it was I who washed him and dressed him in his swathing bands, for my sister Anisia had lost her husband.